Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Krista Perry and with me is Brian Doyle from Doyle Salewski, licensed trustees in insolvency and restructuring. And we're talking today about the Canada Revenue Agency. Brian, those three words put fear into everyone's hearts, especially if you owe them money. Wow, what is involved when you owe money to the CRA and how can Doyle Salewski help?
Well, firstly, there's different types of CRA debt, right? There's the money you owe for income tax, but there's also HST, and there's also source deductions for corporations and businesses. So, well, we won't deal with source deductions today, but we'll deal more on a personal level. You can owe income tax, or you could be self-employed and you could owe HST. A trustee, a licensed trustee, such as Doyle Salewski, we can deal with that. We can file a proposal or a bankruptcy which will halt CRA's actions. And it's important to act earlier rather than later with CRA, because the later you act, the more opportunity they have to garnish a bank account or to seize or lien your house.
Wow.
And once they've liened your house, it's very difficult for us to deal with that once they've done it. But before they do it, we can, if we file, for example, a proposal, that will halt them from filing anything on title. And very important. CRA will compromise. We work with them and you to discuss your situation and a reasonable payment back over time to them and other creditors, because they're in the mix with other creditors for income tax. And once you've filed a proposal, they don't have any more ability to collect than, say, the credit card companies. So how much money is available? Can we reach an agreement as to how much should be paid over a period of time to pay them back? Or from other sources. I mean, there may be other alternatives for the individual debtor who owes the money. We have to be creative and it'll come. But again, CRA debt accrues voraciously. They've got penalties and they've got interest and they've got powers which ordinary creditors do not have. So very important to deal with them proactively and not stick your head in the sand.
So if you owe money to the CRA, I think the misconception that everyone probably has is that's it. I'm done for. They're going to take everything, but there is a way out there by talking with you guys.
Right. And our favorite way of doing it, frankly, is filing a proposal, because CRA will talk. They have a bankruptcy section in Ottawa. They also have a proposal section. And they deal with these things on a professional level. And they make business decisions, and they sometimes are very compassionate. We've seen them deal with people with dealing with illness, particularly in the family, as I told you earlier. And they make decisions based on real-life circumstances. But they are responsible to the citizens of Canada. However, they can only forgive debt under a formal proposal, which we can enact, or a bankruptcy. They cannot forgive principal, for example, in the regular course. They can't just say, yeah, just pay us half. Or they can't just forgive interest, although there is legislation where if you're in some very difficult circumstances, they might forgive you some interest. But that's rare. Few and far between are those circumstances. If you're a taxpayer who just hasn't paid his taxes or her taxes, forget it. You're going to have to pay one way or the other, and interest continues to accrue. So only through a proposal can you make an arrangement that's going to stick with Canada Revenue Agency.
See, I definitely didn't know that, had no idea. And I think, like I said, a lot of people have that misconception about CRA. So,
and if I could just add that for small business owners, carpenters, tradesmen, you could be owing HST, and we can deal with that as well.
It's good to know that there is some light at the end of the tunnel, but of course it starts with a phone call or an email to Doyle Salewski, or just walking into the door and saying, I need help. I don't know what to do about this financial situation. And especially if you owe money to CRA, the stress that you may feel from that, and the guilt, and the just being so overwhelmed, you guys can really help out with that. How can somebody get in touch with you?
Please give us a call at 613-237-5555 or visit our website at doylesalewski.ca, and you can contact us through there.